Let's wait for a few minutes so everyone will join us. Let's wait for a few minutes more so everyone will join us. I think we'll start. So we will start right now, or shall we will wait for a few minutes?
It's upon you.
Okay, sir. Let's wait for 1 2 minutes more. Okay, let's start for the today topics. So, good evening, everyone. We are here for the today workshop, which is taught today agenda is for cloud computing, and we will discuss about three to four top points, which is first of all, what is cloud computing, and another one is second, basically, why we are using this one, and where we will use the third point. Yeah, from a short intro, let me introduce first myself and then we will move forward for the today agenda. So, as you know about me, I'm Amit. I'm the founder of the Paradox of the community, and the other one, like, yeah, my other partner is not here right now, but that's other things. So, for today's agenda topics, we have our different expertise, and yeah, right now they are specific for that point. So, Imtiaz sir is here to highlight our and give us some knowledge about it. What is cloud computing and how they are dealing with that. And after that, we will give you a practical knowledge how you can made up some buckets, how you can deal with the Dockers and the other things. Okay, so I think over to Shubham.
Sir, good evening. Good evening to one and all present here. So this is Shubhendu Kumar Jha, also known as Shubham. So today I'm here to give a small little introduction about myself. So on behalf of Paradox, I, Shubhendu Kumar Jha, am delighted to open this workshop to all of you. Also, I would like to welcome Mr. Amit Shah and Sheikh Hakib Musawir, also known as Imtiaz sir. I'm really sorry sir, अगर थोड़ा नाम ऊपर नीचे हो गया. Also, talking about our workshop is entirely based upon how we are going to originate and cultivate the skills of other students and make them ready for our industries. As for our topic, it would be cloud computing. Starting with our formal introduction, Paradox Alpha is a non-profitable organization which prepares its students for future as well as industry ready. It trains and gives internship to related current technologies in IT field that are shaping our future day by day. Our goal is to make our students more and more efficient and make them skill oriented. Talking about Paradox journey, it has been years since Paradox first originated, and we have been taking small steps every day so to make ours as well as others' life better. Talking about our main topic for this workshop, that is cloud computing. Cloud computing is a technology that uses internet for storing and managing data on a remote server, and then you can help yourself with the internet connection. I'm not a pro in this, but I would like to suggest someone who's a pro in this. So, giving it to Imtiaz sir. Imtiaz sir is a guest speaker for today's workshop. So, talking about Imtiaz sir's achievement and his introduction, Imtiaz sir is a research scholar and established inventor. Also, he's the inventor of 5 patents, program and operation manager in Cisco. He has 10 international research papers in his name. Cynthia, sir, would you like to continue?
Am I audible? Okay, fantastic. Hi guys. As Shubham already introduced me, so I won't dwell much on it. But yes, one request that I'll be switching between Hindi and English for better understanding. So let me quickly jump into the content and share my screen so that we can to avoid any further delays. Let me know once my screen is visible. Is it visible? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, welcome aboard. So, my topic is like I'll be talking around for 10 to 15 odd minutes, and in that, I cannot, talk specifically, pick up a cloud technology and talk about it, but I'll still focus to give you an idea that what cloud computing is and how important it has become nowadays, and what are the reasons for it to become so important and critical. So, as to say that during the corona situation, the pandemic, the circumstances, most of the industry, especially IT related industry, was in loss, except those skilled personals in IT industry who have a good hand on cloud computing or who know about cloud. They were in most in demand, and most high paid jobs went to them, even in corona pandemic. So now you all know that how important it is at least to know what cloud computing is, and then you can decide on your career if you want to go ahead with cloud computing or data science or whatever it is. But here I'll try to give you a view on cloud computing. So basically, starting with the definition. So guys, remember the good olden days, we used to talk about IT infrastructure. That word infra starts for infrastructure. We used to talk about IT infrastructure or computer infrastructure. एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जब हम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बात करते थे तो हम ये कहते थे कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इंक्लूड्स अ मॉनिटर, अ सीपीयू, सर्वर रूम, अ फिजिकल सर्वर रूम, लैन कनेक्शन, पावर सप्लाई, प्रोसेसिंग स्पीड, राइट। ये सारी चीजें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होती थी किसी भी एक आईटी कंपनी के लिए, या किसी भी एक नॉर्मल घर के लिए भी ये सारी चीजें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होती थी। इसका फिजिकल कॉस्ट अपनी जगह होता था, इसका मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट होता था, इसके बहुत सारे अपने एडेड पैरामीटर्स होते हैं इसके अराउंड। क्लाउड ने सबसे आसान क्या कर दिया, आई डोंट, देयर कैन बी मेनी डेफिनेशन ऑफ क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग, बट द इजियर वन इज that it has converted or it has seamlessly transferred infrastructure into utility now. So utility now, basically now there is nothing sort of computer infrastructure. We talk of computer utility now. Like I'll dwell much on now what utility is. Utility is for use. So like if I want a particular operating system, I don't need to buy a CD. I'll just log into cloud who provide and will purchase that particular operating system. And for running that operating system, I only need 2 GB of memory. I need not, and that too, I need this operating system only for 3 days. Now, for example, come to go olden days, we used to buy a 2 GB memory, physical 2 GB memory, RAM, what you say. We need to buy that software. We need to pay for it, and basically additional costs. And it will be, and that would have been useless to us after 2 days of use because we were requiring that OS only for 2 days. But now what happens in utility? I log into a particular cloud platform, purchase the software, purchase the memory only for particularly for 2 days. I pay for it, and that's it. My work is done. I don't have any particular infrastructure. I need not set up any extra hardware infrastructure. And also I paid for only 2 days. That's what utility. Basically, cloud has transformed the word infrastructure to the computer utility now. Now that is debatable that it is always online or it's offline. Because what happens, initially the core concept was only online, but now it has become hybrid. So when we say hybrid, so hybrid is cloud infrastructure, on-premises infrastructure, as well as somewhere hardware machines are also there. Anyway, going ahead. If there is any confusion, just interrupt me in between and ask me. So basic definition of cloud computing is like we have moved from an IT hardware infrastructure to a utility sort of setup where we just use it till the time we want to use it, the way we want to use it. In the real world scenario, when we talk about when we read books, वहाँ पे advantages अलग लिखे होते हैं, वहाँ पे numbers अलग होते हैं, वहाँ पे शायद होगा कि कितने operating systems, कितने users, किसी भी सिस्टम की इंपॉर्टेंस को दिखाने के लिए उसकी एफिशिएंसी, उसकी स्पीड की हम बातें करते हैं। बट जब हम रियल मार्केट में आते हैं, व्हेन वी प्ले द गेम एट द लेवल ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट्स, वी टॉक अबाउट सम क्रिटिकल नंबर्स टू शो हिज इंपॉर्टेंस, व्हिच इज राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू। Till up to year 2023, means I need 2 year down the line, the market value or the total market of cloud computing will be around somewhere around $600 billion. So right now it is around $300 billion as per the last year's data. But by 2023, in 3 years, it will be 3 times, it will be $600 billion. It's a huge, huge market. When you say it's a huge, huge market, it means there is a huge, huge hiring. There is huge, huge pay packages. So everything has increased. It's become a big buffet. Now, on an average, almost every company is switching to cloud computing in one or another form. So and total cloud adoption data is somewhere says that around 58% company organization have already switched to cloud computing. 58% completely. And around 94% of company is switching in one way or other form to cloud computing. Third, now in the total yearly budget, so now the average budget which company is keeping for an cloud infrastructure or for switching to cloud is $3 million in a year. Now just imagine market of $600 billion, company's average budget $3 million in a year, with 58% company almost went to cloud, have almost gone to cloud. 94% in one or another form is going to cloud. In itself says the huge impact this cloud computing is having in our life and the way it's shaping the technology. So now how it's shaping the technology. But before even studying, it's important. Going ahead, it's important to understand what's the current engineering look like in the real world. Uh, when we refer our book or when we talk of the world which is around 1990 or even before that, till 1995, till the time before cloud came into picture, but before even cloud coming to picture, this concept starts coming up. So let's understand what it is, what these four boxes means. And this boxes is universal. So इनिशियली क्या होता था, फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक प्रोडक्ट होता था ना, तो हर चीज उस प्रोडक्ट के अराउंड ही घूमती थी एंड द स्कोप वाज वेरी लिमिटेड. देयर वाज नो चांस ऑफ एरर, देयर वाज नो चांस ऑफ लास्ट मिनट एडिशन टू इट. उसको प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के टर्म में हम कहते हैं वाटरफॉल मॉडल. हर कुछ उसी हिसाब से होता था. और फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट बना रहा हूँ तो उसके लिए सॉफ्टवेयर भी मैं ही बनाता था. बेसिकली बहुत बाउंडेड और लिमिटेड स्ट्रक्चर होता था, इसीलिए मार्केट में आने में टाइम टू मार्केट भी बहुत ज्यादा हुआ करता था उन चीजों का. बट नाउ द मार्केट हैज चेंज. नाउ इट हैज बिकम हेट्रोजीनियस, अनबाउंडेड, डायनेमिक एंड अनडिफाइंड. नाउ व्हेन आई से हेट्रोजीनियस, it is like initially in school days or college days we used to say that two different parameters cannot come together. But in cloud computing world, or for that matter in the current engine world, things have become very heterogeneous. Very multiple different types of things are coming together. We'll see in this presentation on why I'm saying heterogeneous. We'll see that. But heterogeneous means different engine components. Like take an automobile car now. For example, a car. Initially, it was just electrical motor and a mechanical module. But now even electronics have come into it. Now forget about electronics. Now there are talking cars. So artificial intelligence have come into it. So now getting that engineering is becoming heterogeneous. You just cannot excel too much by knowing only one technology. You need to be heterogeneous, jack of all. You need to be jack of all. Second, the scope has become too large. It has become unbounded. Like take an example of a Google Hangout or Google Meet for that matter. When I join a Google Meet now, and I'm talking about myself personally, I expect that it should provide me virtual environment. I expect it should provide me transliteration in all the languages possible. I expect it provides a good sound quality. I expect it, automatically adjusts if my bandwidth reduces. I expect host of things from Google Meet. So my expectations have become unbounded. There's no limit to my expectations. I don't want even a single glitch in my calls. While initially, couple of years down, 4 years, 5 years before, or 10 years before, if there are glitches, fine, network is bad. Now we cannot tolerate that. So expectations have become unbounded. Things have become dynamic, quickly changing. Like for example, today we are using one operating system. Tomorrow it can be a different operating system. Now when operating system changes, or basically, for example, you guys are IT students, so if your platform changes, does not mean you need to completely redesign your product which was on that particular platform. You simply need to switch. You need to make certain changes. So things have become dynamic. Engineering world has become dynamic, heterogeneous, unbounded, as well as undefined. And when I say undefined, it simply means there you cannot, like I showed you, cloud computing, where you can have various definitions around it. So it has become undefined. Basically, what is driving these things is the need of the customer, need of the hour, need of the client. So that is somehow, is the current engineering structure. Clear? Moving ahead. Guys, any question till here? Okay.
Sir, wait for a few seconds because there's a lagging between the live and the you have speak right now.
Okay. Okay. Now we'll talk about basic technologies which revolves around, cloud. If cloud is not in itself is not a technology. Cloud simply means maybe a virtual or maybe physical, a remote system of working, a remote computer in short. In itself is not a technology, but it supports various ways of operations. Cloud in itself is just a concept. So basically four technologies which revolves around cloud, which it's like types of cloud. If I talk about before even talking about touch basing the technologies around cloud is like public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Initially, hybrid was not too much of a concept, but now hybrid has become very important. मैं बताऊंगा कि हाइब्रिड क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया है. सो देखो प्राइवेट क्लाउड क्या होता था कि इट्स लाइक इट जस्ट यू हैव पेड फॉर योर ओन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर टू फॉर एग्जांपल गूगल टू एप्पल टू एनी क्लाउड Amazon for that matter, and they gave you a dedicated cloud infrastructure only for you and or for your use or for your people or for your organization. That's pretty much private cloud. Simple as that. Your dedicated online system, virtual system. Then they became then, but that is bit costly. It is more secure but costly. Then came public cloud. A public cloud is something like Hangout, Google Meet, Zoom. Like it's a shared resource which everyone can use. Functionality doesn't changes for anyone. It remains same. You just come use it for your own purpose with those functionality. Cost reduces. Scalability increases. Storage space gets limited. But now what happened is like I'm an organization for that matter. I'm ready to pay cost, but not too much. So what I want that something should be given privately to me, and something I want to take it from a public cloud. So basically, some resource is dedicated to me. That what I can call it as in a very larger term, on-prem infrastructure. On-prem means premises. On-premises infrastructure for me. Like in my own company or in my own school or colleges, they come and set up a virtual infrastructure that is private plus some service from the public cloud. That is called hybrid now. So there are some so why companies do that, like for example I am having or why schools do that, or why any organization will do that. So simple as like I am having a meeting with my own people. I'm running a social NGO and I'm having meeting with my board of directors. I don't want that it stays on the public cloud. So that recording, that entire conversation, that transcript, that translation, that transcription, I want it to be secured with my company credentials. So, or my organization credentials. So that comes in a private cloud. That is my on-premises structure. But the meeting call, the meeting the meeting. So when I say a meeting, when I'm talking to you guys, you are hearing my audio and video. These audio and video basically are two signals which is going somewhere on a virtual cloud. From there it is processed and coming back to you. That is again a whole lot of infrastructure comes around it. So I don't have money enough to support that on my premises, so I will use this from the public cloud. So now it becomes a hybrid cloud. So basically the three types of clouds right now, it's like, and that hybrid cloud is also somewhere down the line called edge, also edge clouding. Anyway, so now talking about the basic technologies which is around it. First, I'll talk about service-oriented architecture, what we call it as SOA. Don't read into diagram too much. These are just any other person working on it. It's service-oriented architecture. मैं एक एग्जांपल से समझाने की कोशिश करता हूँ. अब मुझे ना एक टिकट बुकिंग सिस्टम करना है, ठीक है. मैं एक प्राइवेट कंपनी हूँ, ठीक है. मैं डिफरेंट तरह के शोज रखता हूँ और मुझे अलग अलग रीजन के लोगों को अलग अलग प्राइस में टिकट बेचना है. अंडरस्टैंड दिस. मैं एक प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हूँ जो डिफरेंट तरह के शोज रखता हूँ, ठीक है, और मुझे अलग अलग लोगों को अलग अलग स्टेट के लोगों को अलग अलग प्राइस में टिकट बेचना है. यहां तक समझ गए? तो ये सर्विस ओरिएंटेड आर्किटेक्चर क्या है, ठीक है, उसको समझने के लिए ये समझना जरूरी है. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, गुड ओल्ड डेज में हम क्या करते हैं कि जिस कंपनी को ये करना होता वो अपना एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाती. वो सॉफ्टवेयर क्या करता, वो सॉफ्टवेयर यूजर को लॉग इन करके टिकट खरीदने के लिए यूआई देता. वो भी खुद उसका डेवलप किया होता। पेमेंट रिसिप्ट, अब जब मैं टिकट बेच रहा हूं तो पेमेंट ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा है, वो भी उसको गेटवे खुद बनाना पड़ता, खुद वो प्रोसेस उसको डेवलप करना पड़ता, खुद वो मॉड्यूल या एपीआई जो भी आप कह ले वो उसको बनाना पड़ता उसी कंपनी को। अब उसको ये भी आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ता लोकेशन से, लैटिट्यूड लॉन्गिट्यूड से, कि जो यूजर पे कर रहा है वो किस लोकेशन से आ रहा है, ताकि उस हिसाब से उसको टिकट का प्राइस बताया जाएगा। और फिर जो मैं शोज रखूंगा, शोज को भी प्रेजेंट करने के लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिए। तो अब क्या हुआ कि सी द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, पर एवरीथिंग यू गाइज आर डिजाइनिंग और पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज डिजाइनिंग। Now, what happens is in a service-oriented architecture that I take microservices or packaged services from which is available publicly, okay, or I buy it from some company. So now, in the same example, now I don't need to calculate lat and long from myself. There is a location intelligence API. I'll use that. There is a payment gateway. I'll use that. I'll I'll make an infra. I'll make an UI. Now there is also, like, this is a studio, so there is also a studio where I can host the event. I'll use that. So what remains to us is like integrating these things. So see the load which is reduced due to cloud, because all these services are available on cloud infrastructure, virtually online. You just go, get your license, get your login credentials, integrate it. So that is one of the technology which around cloud computing, which is service oriented architecture. Coming to virtualization part now. So there are 4 types of virtualization: hardware virtualization, operating system virtualization, server and storage virtualization. What is hardware virtualization? Hardware virtualization includes computing power, memory, storage. It includes firewall settings. Basically, it includes all the configuration except operating system. Okay, guys, except operating system. Hardware virtualization includes entire computer except operating system. Why except operating system? I'll come to it. So virtualization technology, what it does is it virtualizes everything. It virtualizes your firewall settings, it virtualizes your configuration, it virtualizes your BIOS, it virtualizes basically everything except OS. Now, why OS? Why not OS? So OS virtualization is completely different umbrella. Like, for example, we all know AWS provides, Google also provides a cloud infrastructure. So now these organizations who's giving this cloud infrastructure to us won't have a different OS what we see in our computer. Like, I might be having Windows, some other person might be having Linux in itself. So a cloud computing organization which is giving a cloud infrastructure cannot manage that much, won't want to manage that much. So what they do, they provide you a basic operating system where now every business can come and they can just use those infrastructure. It is such a way scalable, operating system is scalable, that person logging from Linux, person logging from Windows, person logging from banking company, person logging from autonomous company, person logging from IT company, both all can use it. It has been made that way. That is OS virtualization. Server virtualization. Now still there are some remote hardware servers in cloud. So basically server virtualization, you all know what server is. Server is where basically a database, and it has a maintenance cost attached to it always. Not only maintenance, it has even temperature associated to it. So basically server virtualization, and then storage virtualization. So that's the virtualization part. And then it's utility computing. Sorry for my spelling, sorry for my bad. Now, before going to grid, what is utility computing? As I said, the very first word, utility, when I defined it, so utility is like pay for service. In one language, pay per use. Like, for example, if you advertise on Facebook, just giving a simple example. If you want to run an ad for 1 day, it takes X amount of money. If you want to run an ad for 2 days, it takes X amount of money. Even in cloud, if you're using, if you're using as a student, it takes 1 rupee for registration. But on the larger scale, what happens is when company or college at the professional level uses a cloud computing, they need to at times scale down their memory. At times they need to increase the CPU in their virtual computer. At times they need to reduce the CPU in the virtual computer. So basically, it is like, if you increase the CPU, pay the cost. If you decrease the CPU, your cost is cut. So basically, pay for what you use, don't pay if you're not using it. So you don't have to pay the cost for entire computer. You just have to pay the cost of what you're using from Amazon or what you're using from Google, or for that matter, any cloud infrastructure provider. That's utility computing. What's grid computing? Grid computing is very simple. It's like people from different organizations, different types of organization can come and use the same infrastructure. That is basically a grid computing. So what services it cloud provides us? What types of services does cloud gives us? So basically, in a larger umbrella perspective, it gives three things. It gives platform. Now, why platform is important? The people from software industry or software background or even from computer software academic background knows this, that platform is needed for testing, platform is needed for integration, platform is basically is needed to build anything. So you don't need to buy a platform, Linux, Oracle platform for that matter. You need not buy it. Go on Amazon, you have an Oracle platform. Go on Google, you have various types of platform. Go and use them. So platform as a service is provided. Software as a service is also provided. Now, so what do you mean by software as a service? The software as a service, it means all the softwares which you want or which you need to develop something is available on cloud, is available with those company who provides the cloud services. Go pay for them, use it. Don't need to buy the CD or install in your system. Pay them, use it then and there. That's software as a service. Infrastructure as a service, I've already explained what infrastructure is. It is everything except server. It's already provided. So basically these are services of clouds. Now, guys, it's important to understand that you might have read in the book that advantages of cloud computing, but there's a big difference between the real professional world and the academic world. In professional world, industry sees their business advantages. Then, along with that, they also see cost advantages. But most, hitting factor is business advantage of any organization. So, how cloud provides the business advantages? So it provides flexibility and business continuity. Now, what these two terms are not same, okay, guys? It's a different term. Flexibility is different. Business continuity is different. So, what is flexibility? So, flexibility. If in real world, if I have to go and increase the RAM, then I need to go to market, buy a RAM, and add it to my CPU. If I want to increase in laptop, it's again more hectic to increase the RAM in laptop. But in cloud computing, just with one click, my RAM will be increased. With one click, my CPU will be increased. In one click, my server usage will be my server size will be increased. So basically, it's so flexible that just with one click, you pay it, you get it. That's flexibility. It's become you can change the operating system with just one click. So everything is available in one click. Run a command, simple CLI command, get it. Second, business continuity. Now imagine, go back 2 years ago when the corona pandemic first hit. Offices were locked, lockdown came. Now people didn't knew how to run their business because their hardware was locked. Let's assume an even worse situation. For example, an earthquake comes at a certain place and the entire complex collapses in that earthquake. Just imagine the impact on business. Completely stalled. While in in cloud, it will not stall because your everything is available on the system, on the cloud virtually or even physically. Then also at remote location. So business continuity is maintained. You will not suffer huge losses. That's it. Flexibility and business continuity. Then it's auto updates. The cloud infrastructure organization update it automatically. Whatever the new patches comes, they automatically update it. It's environment friendly, automatic integrations, and need not talk much about it. You people know this. Then what's cost efficiency and improved collaboration? What is improved collaboration? Now, in real world scenario, in hard world scenario, I'm a testing. For example, I'm a testing team. I've done some tests. The result is stored in my cloud. In my cloud. In my cloud means in my server space, or it's with my file. It's in my file. Now I need to email it, or I need to give a link, or somehow I need to help someone to reach it. And at times they cannot see it unless and until I'm not online. So it doesn't help different teams to collaborate in their own time zones. While in cloud infrastructure, various team, testing team can see what development team is doing, development team can see what testing team is doing, development operations team can see what both the team is doing. Basically they can come together anytime, they can see others resource, they can use that resource, they can even put a note and then other team can work on it. That is called collaboration. So since everything is on cloud, you just need to share the login credentials. Once it is with them, it improves the collaboration. It reduces the time. That is improved collaboration. Cost efficiency, as we all know, it is very cost efficient. But guys, एक चीज हमेशा होती है कि when there is goodness, there is a bad thing. So there is always a question: how safe is cloud? There's always this fear factor. Fear factor is because of data privacy, my personal privacy, as well as the huge money and the huge intelligence which company is putting behind. So what are the different major threats to a cloud? So cyber attack, that's the known reality through phishing, of cyber attack or phishing attack. Now, phishing is a different form of security attack, but there's always a cyber attack, cyber attackers, with malicious intents trying to hit the cloud and damage the cloud. Second is very dangerous, very, very dangerous, is intentional sabotage. Now, what is intentional sabotage? Intentional sabotage can be from your own employee. Intentional sabotage can be from from a person who know your credentials. So what happens in intentional sabotage is the person who know the credential with malicious intent, if he is of a criminal mind, he goes there, he deletes your system from the virtual machine. Now your business is gone, you'll suffer losses, your reputation is bad now for some time. That is intentional sabotage, which is more deadly than cyber attacks, because cyber attacks still can be prevented and detected. Intentional sabotage is no one can read my mind. No, I am a developer, for example. No one can read my mind what I'm going to do with the credentials. And company has to give me credential because I have to develop on cloud. So that is intentional sabotage, which is very deadly, even deadlier than cyber attacks. Data breaches. I will tell you a very live example, very real example. There was an organization. In there was a development operations team. Now, when I say there was an organization, it means it is not my organization. Neither I was associated in the past nor associated in the present, but there was an organization. My cousin was somehow associated with that organization. What happened is he was leading a team, DevOps team, basically. Suddenly, one day he was doing Google, and we found that his entire team data is on Google, third party. And a guy is using the data to sell the courses. That come join my website, I'll sell these courses and you get these data, this confidential data of that particular org. Now just imagine that company thinks that his everything is secured, but nothing is secured. Even after so many efforts, somehow the data breaches has happened. Someone has provided the data. He hasn't done sabotage, but he somehow leaked the data. Now, whatever this guy was doing, his team was doing, probably he was from this team, he knew it. Maybe many other teams' data was online. So that is called data breaches, which company day in, day out works and sanitizes their employee to avoid data breaches. And no one do it intentionally. There are cyber hackers everywhere who is trying to steal your data for their malicious work. Now, another is insecure interfaces and APIs. Now, I talked about location API, that you can go and use location API to detect which type of people, which location people is joining. Accordingly, I can put the fees. But do you know how secure that particular API is? No. Neither cloud know how secure that API is. Maybe the developer of that API has already installed a bug in it. That moment you use it, it steals the data or put a bug in the total security itself. So that's another type of threat. That's insecure interfaces and APIs. So like this, there are many threats to cloud computing, which you engineers can work and improve on. But these are some important and critical ones. So what is after cloud? Now cloud is actually booming, and there were a lot of hiring happening in clouds. What's after cloud? So honestly speaking, there is no technology right now which is very promising ahead of cloud, but some people are saying IoT as an alternate. But IoT cannot be an alternate of the cloud as far as I go, but some people are still saying IoT can be alternate, or IoT based cloud can be the next technology. But yes, for me, it's like IoT and cloud works are two different, uh, leaders in the different in different way. So for now, the cloud is really dealing with the market, and it's really taking the business into new definitions and everything. So guys, now if you have any questions, you can please ask before I say thank you. So I guess Amit, there's no questions. And if there's a question, you can write to me, and you can find me on LinkedIn for that matter. So
Yes,
over
sir.
to you, Amit.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for giving this such a golden, yeah, what with the details regarding cloud computing. Yeah, as everyone know about that, how the cloud is dealing with right now, and yeah, there's nothing is in the word that we say that that thing is basically safe. So yeah, some have having disadvantage and advantage other things. Let me give you some practical things how you are dealing with the cloud. Let perform some with the Docker and some with the AWS. And not right now, we will continue the whole things. But yeah, if you guys want that, we will continue about the whole AWS server, how you can manage with that, how you can deal with whole things. We can teach you. We can made a like we will provide the classes. We provide classes over there. But yeah, right now I am giving a little bit deal how you can deal with that. Let me share my screen. But yeah, if guys you have any questions, you can write in the chat box, and I will continue from here. Okay, I think my screen is visible to everyone. Okay, so let's jump. Okay, so guys, normally as you know about the Google, you search about the AWS, you can create your account. But yeah, let if you didn't know about that, let me tell you about how you can deal with that. You can provide your email ID, password, other things, name. Okay, in the next step, what you will provide, you directly provide other things like this one, paste it over there, and create your account. Okay, guys, after creating your account, you have many options. Like right now, when you create your account and you log in over there, you have a different services with the cloud. So over here, you have a compute, you have a developer, developer tools, you have storage, you have everything. So basically, right now, what sir have told you about that, you are storing a data in that your whole data, yeah, in the cloud. So how you can deal with that? So basically, when you are dealing with the storing of data, you directly deal with the cloud storage. Yeah, if you know about it, you should directly say that normally the security main purpose is there in the cloud. So you prefer the more valuable thing, like for the Google have providing AWS server and other things. In the AWS, when you log in over there, you in the services, you have a storage. Yeah, over there you can use S3 for the bucket purpose. Okay, let me tell you what is bucket. In normal way, when you are dealing the bucket, you can create a whole bundle space in a container where you can put your data and extract and everything you can work over the same data at the same place. So I have opened that one. Click on the service, search over here there Amazon S3. Okay, so you will get this one, the S3. And in the top features in the S3 bucket, you have top feature bucket as a point and batch operation. So when click on the bucket, uh, you can deal with that. You can create a bucket. So yeah, before that, actually I have created my account and I have given the whole detail of a bank account and everything. But if you didn't have done with that, you can go with over here and by billing dashboard you can go and you can provide your whole details. By the way, सबको पता होगा, I think Amazon right now is giving you free services, but didn't give you the free services of their own things like bucket computing and you will charge for that whole things. If you want guys to create something, you can create on the this create on bucket. You basically give a name, like it's a name of container, and you can give a reason. So like I have given a container name open, and after that I can choose the bucket. Okay, so I didn't have any bucket right now. How I can deal with that? Basically, yeah. Let me check that one where I didn't have or not. So let's create this one. Get a bucket. They want a name. Okay, so bucket name must not contain uppercase. Okay, so we didn't give the upper case over here. Yeah, right now it's done. This exists. Okay, so this type of bucket is exists. You can create another one by giving name container name in characters. Okay, so when you create that one, what it will giving you right now? Let me tell you how they are. Yeah, right now it is creating. Yeah, it's directly creating a one bucket, the open things. You can upload any files over here and save your data in the same container. So what basically so I have tell you that in the cloud computing, when you're dealing with the cloud data storage, you have a four type of things. Public cloud computing, which give you the public data. Private, you have hybrid, and as well as you can create a protective things like what is a hybrid, the combination of the public and private, which give you the both things. Like in the institute, if your institute organization is taking some data, so they are directly connect at one container. Okay, and in over here when you are dealing with a container, you can divide it that thing in a small parts like this. And yeah, so I am giving the authority to this four of them to give the whole data. You can convert, you can check and get everything updated, which is created in the whole container. But I mean that dealing with this one. Let me tell you. Yeah, dealing with this one. So the this type of container, the four containers contain the whole data of the whole container data. But if you want to hide the whole data from the from the other organization, yeah, or other things, you can basically make this one. So this data did give the opportunity to the other one. So yeah, this collection of whole data in one container is called hybrid. You have a public data, you have a like whole data which is private. We can deal with the other organization, not for the other things. So yeah, basically this is a hybrid. If you divided the whole lines, if you divided the whole container in two parts, you will get your private as well as a public container. Okay, so over here, this is a public container. Every data is visible to the every user which are using right now. Like Google is a good example for that. Google have the own container for the public one, but yes, some data which they are having their own organization, they can deal with that. They are coming the private one. So we can say the Google is also hybrid example. And yeah, so how you can uh, correct and do that one? You can add a file. It will take charge. Okay, guys, so do not do much for that because I'm right now telling you that you can contain this data in one sheet, and right now it's storing in your cloud. And when you're when you came out from this service, so this whole data is when you're uploading this one, when you upload this one, it will uploading the data. And yeah, that's done. So it will giving you one space already you are working. And yeah, that thing is a good thing for the cloud having giving you storage to saving data and other things, a main security purpose. So guys, that's a normal thing how the AWS working with the bucket is the bucket is a normal service in this one. We have another one ef things, they are also containing that same thing. And yeah, AWS backup, what do you mean the AWS backup? When you are create the whole data, and if you want to like save that one, so how you can deal, how you can download, how you can save the data, because you had lost your data in many times. So that's time you can deal with this one. And yeah, moreover, when you are dealing with this one, you can create, you can delete, and no one can interfere even in your supposed to data. Same as the Docker. Let me tell you about Docker. Not more than that, not more much. But yeah, giving you the example of the Docker. As in just today, you can deal. You know that there's a framework, so it will help you to connect with the AWS as well as the other things. So come across to this one, you can deal the whole thing in from this way also. But yeah, there's an extension option. You can add an extension of Docker. Yeah, what Docker will give you? Docker create the own surface, which Docker. Yeah. So Docker, I've already installed. You can install from over here. Installing, right? And it's not this is installing the whole things. And after installing that, what it will helping you? It will directly helping you give you one container, and you can create the whole project on that. And you basically, so this is giving you a server. They're providing you a server. So when you're working with that, it didn't give a load and anything to your server like your system right now. It will give a particular space. You can expand, you can generate, you can create anything in on a particular server, not with dealing with the other ones. So that's a thing. A server is working. It's an offline server. Docker is helping with the offline as well online. But yeah, in the offline you can also make with the projects. But when it comes to AWS, you will create and you can what is it that you can add that one. So if you guys like want that, will provide you the whole course of that this one. You can comment on the comment section. So we will provide you and we will made a video for or we can give a live session for that. And yeah, basic thing is that guys, we have introducing many more things like we have our own website. You can check out in the description after this video ending. And after that, main thing is that when you are dealing with this one, you can communicate, you can take advantage of our what is that normal things, the normal services we are providing. We are giving a more difference of languages and other things. So yeah, if you guys want that, we will create the whole thing. You can drop a message or you can drop it in chat box after this whole event. Also, if you guys want, you can directly mail us. We can retrieve you over there. And hope so, guys. If you have any query, you can ask. But I think you got everything. How you can deal with that. And yeah, main thing is that we commanded the AWS. That's a good thing. So I think sir has given the whole things. Okay. Guys, if you have any query, you can ask right now.
Just to summarize, guys, it was a good view which Amit gave. I think that how basically everything runs through Docker, and it's one thing. First thing which you need to download an image, and you need a Docker to run it and to run your program. And I can see Amit, I can see a lot. There are many questions that people are asking, so they can put their questions there, and we can answer them later. If that would.
Yeah. Okay, sir. So, okay. So there's one question, sir. I want to ask, what are the benefits of the cloud? I think, sir, you have answered that one
I've
already.
answered most of the question which I got in the text, but there's a question with sir, what basic companies are asking in the what basic knowledge? Okay, okay, Shana, I think I've answered the benefits of cloud. Anyway, I'll come back to that again. So basic knowledge when which company asks you is like, can you create you run a basic one line code in the cloud? Have you created a Docker? Have you run an image? Do you know how to configure a cloud? So basically what they basic things which they expect from a student to know, that at least they know to log in, they need to configure, they need to run a they need to know to run a small command, and knows about things related to like Docker, what is image, how you run an image, what are the different instances which you need to initiate around it. That's the basic thing which companies generally ask from Indians. They do, and after that most things are company specific. They don't ask that to you. The basic, you should know how to log in, how to configure, how to create your account. That's it.
Okay, that's enough things. Okay, sir has already answered with the for. It was an amazing session, very beneficial. That's good. But how can we learn the cloud computing? I think sir has given the answer. That's cool, guys. If you want to learn about that cloud computing and the other things, I think many of you know about that Linux and other system. So how they are dealing, how they are working, they are also dealing with the server. They create their own like Ubuntu is giving you the same things. So you can deal with that if you know about the Ubuntu. That mean you know more about the servers. But why we say that is right now in the cloud computing and cloud things, clouding things is a good for right now storing a data. They are actually sir, I already wrote that there's an advantage and the disadvantage between the whole things. So yeah, cloud computing also not we say that that's a secure thing. Let me take one example. If you are dealing with any organization having purchased some data from the Google, and they have access, they have a hybrid things. So a public person can also interfere with the private one if they can deal with if they are collectively interconnected. But if organization is making a proper private channel, then it not is a secure thing. So they have everyone have a disadvantage and advantage. And yeah, most of the company I felt that when they are asking, they didn't ask about this. The sir already told you that they didn't ask about how you can work, how you can add image, how you can, because everyone knows there's an option. Actually, I have already described in this AWS one. They're already given the whole thing in a clear way. Yeah, normally how you can manage that thing is a main thing. So yeah, this is a normal brief. I think sorry, I've already told that about. So let's end up this one. I think, guys, if you have any query, you can text up over here. So what about IaaS for the career?
I think it's infra. You're talking about infrastructure as a service. If that's your question, it depends on what type of industry you're targeting. Are you talking if you're talking about technology industry, then technology industry needs everything. It needs infrastructure. It needs your expertise on cloud. Service. It needs your expertise on creating, running, managing. But if you are talking about from the perspective of companies which provides cloud infrastructure, then I'm not much sure about their backend. But if you're talking about a technology company who uses the infrastructure, they need your expertise in everything. More or less, you should know the entire thing: how to use the infrastructure, how to use the SAS, or how to use the other thing as a service. I don't know much about cloud providing infrastructures, so that you need to check.
So, guys,
Uh,
if you want, yeah, sir, let's end up this one quickly. Yeah, but if you guys you have any question, if you want to know more about AWS server and other clouding property and servers, you can directly contact with me and the other person in our community. You can drop a mail also, and you can comment over here also. So, guys, thank you so much to joining this normal workshop. We will be meeting soon to introduce with the server. I have been managed with the servers. Thank you, guys.